What's up, everyone? You probably saw the title of this video and are like, this is crazy. Why would you, like, how does that even happen? But I think it makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I did go to school naked. This was back when I was in high school, a few years ago now. I wasn't quite a senior yet, so it mattered a lot more to me. You know, when you're a senior in high school, you're like, just checked out, just living life. You already applied for colleges if you're doing that. Everything's what's done is done basically. But this was when I was still trying to do my best and, trying to party hard and stuff, but you care a little bit too much about just everything. I think when you're in 11th grade. 11th grade is the time to care. You do so many classes, I don't know, and you kind of let yourself down if cuz it doesn't really matter. And so even if you do everything, you let yourself down because it doesn't matter. And then I'm here in beautiful Pasadena, California, recording a little Twilight video for this spooky story. But yeah, basically, this took place when I was in high school, maybe junior or sophomore year, one of those. And yeah, so I went to school naked. Bombshell. So, how would I do that? So, I don't know about all of us, but me and some of the people I've talked to have had dreams. You wake up, or you don't wake up, but you're just in the dream. It's just, you don't have any recollection of how you got there. You're at school, you're naked. Oh no, you're freaking out. You feel so embarrassed. It's your body's way of represent. I don't know. I've looked it up. Your your body's trying to get out its like embarrassment or something. Your dreams are all you trying to tell stuff. But basically, I was at school one day and I kind of just appeared there in the car driving to school. And so when you've grown up having nightmares, they really bother you a lot when you're younger. I remember being like maybe 6 or 7, and nightmares were the worst thing ever. They would scare me so much. Like my I remember like I had dreams about showing up for like practice and being naked, and then I would think about it in practice and it would just ruin my day having a nightmare. But you develop coping mechanisms for nightmares, and soon enough it doesn't really bother you. And one of those coping mechanisms is learning to just accept the reality of the dream. And so if you're naked, you just accept that and you're just there and you're naked. And you know it's a dream and it doesn't matter. And so if we lived in a society where no one wore clothes, after all, it wouldn't be anything weird. It's not like, you're hurt at school. That would always be bad. That would always be a bad dream. But naked, it really doesn't mean anything. And especially in a dream. And so yeah, basically, I guess I would say it kind of felt like a dream. This was real life though. So I don't know, some days feel like dreams. Um but I got out of my car to go to school. At school, I was in the parking lot, and I was naked. And I looked down, and it was a winter day, and my penis was all shriveled, and I was like, huh, that's kind of, I guess I'm dreaming. It doesn't really feel like a dream though, and I like felt around and like touched stuff, and I was like, wow, this must be one of those lucid dreams. But I didn't really, like, I felt like I had already gone to school naked. I felt like Billy, and everything that was there had already been done, and I just had to do what I had to do. Like in a dream, you don't really have free will, but you're experiencing everything before you. Like you know what's going to happen next, or what has to happen next. It didn't feel like a lucid dream. It felt like a very tactile dream, but not a lucid dream, I guess. And so, you know, I my I might have wanted to like impress the ladies in my dream just a little bit, just because it was pretty cold outside, and if I was like, well, if I'm going naked to school, I might as well. So I gave myself a little like pat on the back, pat on the head, Uh, and you know, I got up a little bit, and then I walked into my class, and everyone was just there, and they were horrified. The teacher looked at me. I don't know. She was like, I still I still remember that just look on her face. She probably thought nothing like this would ever happen, but she did think if anyone were to do it, it would be me. Um, and She was just horrified. The whole class, I was running a little bit late. Um, yeah, the whole class looked at me like that, basically. Eyes wide, just shock. A bunch of people started laughing, actually. Some of the girls started laughing. I didn't know if that was like good or bad, but I was kind of happy that I don't know. Well, I was at the time I was happy that I had taken the steps I had taken to make it so I wasn't embarrassed. But yeah, they were people actually received it quite well. I don't know what you would do in this situation. Comment below, let me know what you would do. I think it's just, it's not the end of the world. People never really think about being naked in like a public place, but it's not like you're actually doing anything that bad. There's no like, even if there was children there, I don't think it would have mattered. And I wasn't like that. I was more like that. And that would have been pretty weird if I was. But after I went in, I could feel it start to go like that. And so I quickly hurried out. And I was like, huh, this isn't like any dream I've really had before. Like, usually it just ends and you're just faced with the unbearable shame and resentment of yourself in your dream. But I didn't really feel bad about it. And, but I didn't, like, the dream didn't end. I was like, okay, I should be waking up now. But, yeah, I never did wake up. I guess that's the end of the moral of the story. Sometimes you don't wake up. And I had already accepted it. I thought, this has already happened. It's pretty cool, honestly. I have no idea how I thought I was in a dream. I like, I don't know. Has that ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments. But, oh, I think what I remember is I'd come off a pretty large dose mushroom. Mm, yeah, we'll just say mushroom trip. I'd come off a pretty large dose of a mushroom trip. Lights out. Um, and nothing really seemed like real to me. For those of you who have like tripped with psychedelics, especially when you're like less experienced, you know that the few days after are a very magical moment, but it's like everything seems kind of sad. You kind of go through life like it's predisposed and it's just kind of like something to get out of the way. And then you like the world is gray. That's the best way I can describe it. Like the world when you're on mushrooms is like ultra high definition, like way brighter and more beautiful than you've ever seen it. And the world after is like kind of a grayscale, maybe like a few colors here and there, but nothing really touches you the same way. And so, yeah, that's how I ended up going to school naked. A lot of you are probably wondering what happened to you. What happened to you after with like the teacher and the principals and stuff. Um, yeah, it was I like how would you punish for that? Like a lot of people might think, well, I was just like crazy and they wouldn't necessarily punish, but I did get punished quite strictly for that because it was a mistake. And even though most people would assume I was just crazy and just kind of blown it off, I did get um I think I got suspended for 5 maybe a week. But And it's not like one of those things that you get suspended and you're like a legend at school forever. It's like you get suspended, everyone remembers your penis. But that actually made a pretty good impression for some of the ladies. Um, I think that's what matters. But yeah, that's my little Christmas story for you all. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you like this kind of story, because I don't know. I can tell loads of stories from high school. You know, high school was just a wonderful time for content. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of story. Uh, Leave some comments down below. Make sure to leave a like. That's the most important thing. We really need to like get the algorithm to boost our whatever. But yeah. Bye bye. Have a great Christmas.